What do you call a knight that's afraid to fight?
I don't know. What do you call that?
Surrender.
Don't get it.
Surrender.
Don't get it still.
Surrender.
Hello and
What do you
welcome
call a
back
knight
to
that's afraid to
another.
fight? What do you call a knight that's afraid to fight?
Oh, to fight. I thought you said afraid to flight.
Hello and welcome back. This is the Full Circle podcast. I'm Jamie here today with.
Kenny from South Park.
No, I'm not Jamie. I'm
I'm
straight.
Jamie. He's Kenny from South Park.
No, I am that little bit of blu-tac that you just can't get off your wall.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. How are you doing today? The little bit of blue tack that you can just never get off your wall.
Well, considering it's the summer, I feel my life's a bit empty
You got no
because
posters on you at the moment.
I just have nothing to look forward to this summer.
Oh, so like every other human alive, join the club.
Yes, but this is more personal to me. I'm the center of my own universe, so I'm more important.
Sorry, I thought you was the little bit of blue tack on the wall and not Mitchell.
I didn't say I was.
Oh, okay. But anyway, talking about having a terrible summer and not looking forward to things. That leads us on to our topic today. Festivals.
Something
Now,
to look forward to in the summer.
we've been to a fair share of festivals, little day ones, weekend ones, what have you. Now, do you want to give your perspective on how you enjoy a festival and what kind of
Well,
atmosphere you get from it and what kind of energy it creates inside of you?
so I've got to speak specifically about Reading because that's the weekend one we've been to. The day ones are kind of just like a day out sort of thing. It's not quite the same, but like a weekend festival is a magical place. It's the wild, wild west, just lawless, disgusting, but the most fun you'll have.
It's also the most beautiful as well.
Mm, I don't know. I've seen some things I wouldn't call beautiful.
Would you care to share some of the things you've seen at festivals?
The shit in the pizza box. A grown man peeing in another grown man's mouth.
Not by accident as well, may
No,
I
not
add.
by accident.
and
Someone
not
ODing.
and not in a sexual way as well, may I add.
No, just as a I'm gonna drink his piss.
Because that's a funny joke.
I mean, we're laughing about it now.
But Reading, like if we're talking about Reading as a whole here, Reading is a very magical place, especially for me, and I know you share it as well. It's a very different, it's a very like step out of the normal world. But I don't just mean step out of the normal world, like you step into the unknown, into like the abyss of what's to come. Like, because obviously you know the acts
You
that
just
you're gonna,
forget about the world outside of the festival.
yeah, you know what acts you're gonna see, and you can kind of plan out your day to day. But really, everything else in between is a very big like. There is a constant 80% chance you're gonna get stabbed or OD at any time. Um,
I don't know though because like in my experience, most people I've met at a festival have been decent people. Like they're just there for the same reason I'm there, is just to have fun, have a great weekend with my mates.
Yeah, but when it comes to Saturday and everyone's already been on it for like 3 days straight, right? That's when it gets a bit scary for me.
In what way?
Because everyone's just literally out of control. Like you're yourself, but you're in a
But that's the whole part of it. You're not your normal self. You're you at a festival.
true, and it's
Like there's no rules.
and there's a
You
constant
just exist.
there's a constant lingering of like weed, piss, and general just bo
Cider.
and cider. Yeah, and it mixes into one. And even though you're outdoors, it never really escapes.
But like it's not a horrible smell. The toilets are a horrible smell. The
The toilets,
toilets,
yeah, the toilets
you
are
can smell them from like half a mile away.
the toilets. I wouldn't even wish for prisoners to have. They're that bad.
Oh yeah,
Like you do have
like
to
they
hold
are
in a
just
shit
holes in the
for a good
ground.
weekend.
Nah, that's shat.
No, I
Last time we
couldn't.
went last year.
I
No, you just have to. Otherwise, you're just torturing yourself for no reason.
no, not
Like
because
you
I
just
didn't
have
want
to.
to, just
And
because
once
I
you
couldn't.
did, the first time I did it, I was like, do you know what? That wasn't even that bad. I didn't fall in. Didn't drop anything in. Didn't get pee someone else's wee or shit on me.
It's just the metallic buildings. Like then, I've never seen a structure like that anywhere else before in my whole life. Like they're not portaloos and they're not like they're a weird metallic building. And luckily it's in summer, so they don't burn up. Um, and
Luckily, they're not right by where people sleep, and the doors are the loudest things in the world.
and that's the thing. There's never not noise at Reading. Like there's you either got to learn to
Nah,
sleep or
there is when like 6 a.m. in the morning. It's quiet.
yeah, but there's still
It's
that.
a nah. There's not. It's literally dead quiet.
But yeah, but you
Because like
also
there's people awake, but like everyone's like whispering really quiet, like just talking amongst yourself or just kind of like monging out.
that's what I mean. From that 5 a.m. to like 7 a.m., there's that weird crossover of people like the early birds getting up for the day and the people just going to bed. So it is a bit quiet. But they're literally the only 2 hours of, and it's not even silence. Like there are people talking. There's people like music's always kind of being played somewhere.
No, not that late. Not that late. People do actually turn off their music eventually. But like experiencing the festival slowly wake up is a pretty cool thing
Oh yeah,
because
that's a very beautiful.
it goes from like the madness of the day, everyone kind of partying on until the night, then everyone's starting to fall asleep, then it's quiet, then you hear a few voices, you start to hear zips of tents opening, you'll see someone stand up like in the distance and they'll be brushing their teeth or pouring water over their head to shower. Then you'll see people going back and forth to like the toilet. You'll hear the toilet door slam. You see people go to like the food vans. People start waking up. Start hearing like deodorant being sprayed. Like start hearing like a small like music. It won't be anything like big like drum and bass. It'll be like just normal like chart music that someone will just bang on their playlist. Then like you'll get up, your friends will get up, you'll start going for the day. You might have a little smoke a joint. You'll start smelling weed every now and then. Then people will start going to the arena about like half 11, 12. Then the madness starts from like 1. That's normally when they have like their first big headliner. Well, not headliner, but like a
Big
kind
act.
of big act.
Oh mate, that got me sad because I remember, like as you said, the zips that gave me like real big flashbacks of just hearing all them zips opening, then like like
Yeah,
the emergence of like it's not instant. It's as you said, like
like
over
just
time, like the
get
zips and then the voices and then the music and then
yeah.
like oh,
You
it's a
just
truly
like get
magical
out and you
experience.
see your mate and you're like, you're right. Yeah, I'm alright. You're right.
Like you're both
And
dead
it's
as
like you
fuck.
you
Like
just get up early as well. Everyone gets up like before 10 o'clock.
yeah, because it's so hot in your tent you can't sleep.
Yeah, it is. No, you can sleep, but like you can't wake up and like kind of stay in bed like you would at home. You wake up and you're out.
Yeah,
You're
you
like,
have to
fucking
get
hell, I'm
out as soon
sweating.
as you get up. You're like I fucking can't even breathe. Like it's so
Yeah.
hot. And like it's weird because at night it's like freezing cold because you're
Yeah.
literally just outside.
Like you go to bed in like your jumper in your
Yeah,
sleeping bags,
you wrap
like
up and then
all
you wake up. You're like
yeah,
fucking ripping it off. You're like, oh my
yeah.
god, I'm
What
gonna
kind of
die.
idiot put all this on me?
But no, it's a very and it's a very like it's an experience I think that everyone should have at least once in their life because
100%.
it truly is very magical and I don't say that word lightly, but it's also very you can't go to Reading in a very like you got if you're going to Reading or any festival you can't go in expecting to live life lavishly. You've got to bring yourself down, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like you've
yeah.
got to brush your teeth
You
with
can't
warm
be a
water.
princess.
Yeah, you got to brush your teeth with warm water in the morning. You got to buy a 6 pack of wet wipes to shower throughout just one day. you've got to really, you got to get used to just eating like, uh, what is it? It's like fast food basically.
It's like stuff that you can just eat that you don't need for a fridge or an oven for. Like
Yes.
for breakfast, you'll have maybe like fruit and like some pan of chocolats or like croissants and like all shit like that. You maybe have like cereal bars,
Rivitas all in a tent.
biscottis. Yeah.
But no, it's a good experience, and you've also got to you got to take a lot of money because every time I go Reading, I'm like, all right, I've got a lot of money, I'm gonna be fine. Then it comes to it, and I'm like, shit, I'm out of money.
Everything's way more expensive than in the real world.
Yeah, and there's no co-op, there's no shops. Like there
There
is, but
is there is a co-op.
it's a good
There's-
40-minute walk away.
no, there's a co-op in the camps.
Oh yeah, but that's like a hour queue. Do you know what I mean?
It's not.
Well, we've
Not
never
like
been there.
at night. No, I did when I had to walk around once, but they sell like toilet paper, all shit like this, sweets.
Yeah, and it's
But
also
yeah,
like another weird dynamic of it is like when you leave to go into like the main camp, not the main camp, the main section where all like the arenas are, right?
the arena. Yeah.
Um, all your shit's just left behind, not protected. Anyone
You're
could
just
just
leaving
go
your
in.
stuff in the field.
Yeah, like, and everyone's got that same kind of trust of like, I won't touch your shit if you don't touch mine.
Yeah.
like, and like,
But you do get people who are there to ruin it.
yeah,
And they
there are.
will
It's like
start fights. They will stab someone. They will rob people stuff from people's tents.
it's like
Just
the
keep
normal
all
world.
your valuables on you at all times.
Yeah, it's like the normal
Like my
world.
phone doesn't leave my person. I sleep with my like fucking
Fanny
what's it
bag,
called? Yeah,
bum bag.
just around me. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
don't call it a
I
bum
like
bag.
clench onto that like a
Yeah,
yeah,
I sleep on top of it.
because you're also so out of it. If anyone comes in the night, like you're fucked. But
Nah,
like
not
there
me.
also is a very dark side to festivals that I think we should talk about, where people either are taking too much drugs that they don't know how to consume that they've never taken before, and they can either get very ill or worse comes to worse OD. And there's also a very big
Die.
like sexual assault at festivals, right? Because people can get too out of it. And as we said, like even if you're on like say MD and you do too much of it, then you're there and you're unconscious. You like people do take advantage of that.
Well, it's not even just that. Like, it's not even just because of drugs. If you put women and men anywhere, a man will rape a woman
Yeah, it's just
eventually.
people are just the fucking worst. Like because I don't like
Worst species in the world.
because I was having this chat with with a friend, Josh, by the way, and we was talking about like how everyone in the Hollywood and everyone kind of famous is basically just a paedophile and a rapist, and it's
Yeah.
very hard and it's annoying and like for me, I obviously because I'm not a paedophile or a rapist, I look at it from a very logical point of view of like, well, if I was a paedophile, why would I leave all the evidence on my Instagram DMs? Why would I email them? Do you know what I mean? Like, why
Yeah.
would you do that? It's just stupid. But obviously, they don't
Well,
care because
some
they
like
think
it
they're
might just be
untouchable.
part of like it just might be part of the thrill of it. Like, oh, I might get caught
Yeah, but
because it's like a
not
it's
kids, I never kids.
not now, not ever. But it's
But
a kind of thing like it's. I guess it's a fetish if like you're going to categorize it, and like some people's fetish is being like doing stuff you're not allowed to do, or like that society looks on in a negative way, and it just might be part of that.
well, we'll get back to that in a minute. But I just want to say this quick point about how like back to my logical thing. Like, I would never get off of being like, oh, this girl's unconscious, doesn't know me, and doesn't want this.
Oh, it's just so weird. It's
It's
so
weird,
fucked.
and
It's
it's
so
like
fucked, man. You got to be some either a sociopath or some kind of desperate.
if only them
But like,
two
I would
words
just never
combined
get.
made a word. I don't know, like rapist, to kind of define that term. But going back to what you said, I want to talk about this now. It's because I also had this chat with Josh.
I want to talk about this now.
Um, no, it's about how like so basically, all right. Give me the platform here to just finish what I'm gonna say, and then it will make sense, right? So
Right,
basically,
you
like,
have 2 minutes.
there's there's a lot of mental illnesses out there that can cause people to have aggravated rage or high aggression, and we as a civilization recognize that and treat them kind of people, right? So like there can be people out there with mental illnesses going, I want to go and kill someone, I want to go and kill someone, and we can take them to doctors and counseling to help figure out why they want to do it and help, show them that how wrong that is and hopefully put them on the right path. But then with pedophilia, everyone's like, it's a very big no-no topic. So my question is to you, should there be more in place to kind of, obviously not like opening it up and saying it's accepted, but being like, hey, we recognize this is a really horrible mental illness and it's a really horrible thing to do and it shouldn't be done. And, I think there's a statistic out there saying like 85% of people who commit paedophilic crimes were abused as a child. So it's like, it maybe if there was more in place to kind of be like, if you're having paedophilic thoughts, you can come to us and we can try and amend that as best I can and try and literally help you from not ruining someone else's life and probably the worst thing that you can do apart from murder. You know what I mean? And
That's worse than murder. I'd rather die than get diddled as a kid.
I get what you're saying, but you've also
Personally,
got to realize, like, at least like, there's people who would rather live a full life with. Do you know what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean?
No, no. I'm saying like personally, like, like I was gonna say I don't value life enough to live through it like that, but that just sounded really suicidy.
But
But
yeah.
like that's kind of what I'm gonna say.
Well, no. To answer my question, like, what do you think should be put in place? Should there be more kind of open, not an open discussion where people can like, walk down the street and like, yeah, I suffer from paedophilia. No, like where there's more in place by the government to be like, hey, we need to stop this and we need to solve the problem because we spoke about this before. Like, it's always the problem of like when you're in a school, they tell you how to deal with sexual groomers, but they never try and deal with the actual problem of people sexually grooming kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll let you have the platform now.
So thank you for having me. Um,
No
I
worries,
think it
blu-tac on the
it
wall.
would no, just a little bit that you can't get off.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we had the other one on last week.
Um, I think it would be a good idea to have a confidential hotline per se, like for example, that people could get help with. And there's probably therapists that do deal with people who suffer, well, not suffer, but like that are pedophiles. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, I feel like if you act on it, there's no going back, and you should just get
Oh
hanged.
yeah, I'm 100% agree with you there. Like, it is probably, as we
Because
said,
I know
up there with murder as like the worst thing
there's
you can
probably
do.
people out there there's probably people out there that have these thoughts but don't act on it because they don't want to because they know it's so wrong,
And that's what I mean. Like,
but
that's
then
why you
they
got to
don't
look
have
at it
help.
as
But
like the mental illness kind of side where people are literally so conflicted within themselves because they're like, obviously I can't imagine it, but it's like they must have these thoughts of like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I know it's so wrong. But it's like
yeah,
like I remember I've heard once like someone described it as like, should it be like it was a guy who came out from like he's a big notorious pedophile, and he came out of prison. And he was like, my goal is that in a few years' time it would be looked at as like a sexuality, like being gay or bi or asexual, and it should be
do
something so accepted. And obviously that's completely fucking wrong, and it shouldn't be
you know
accepted anywhere.
the maddest thing about that sentence?
What's that?
He recently came out of jail.
Well, this is the other wrong
You
thing with it. Like, you can diddle about 12 kids and get less than 5 years in prison for it.
It's because the most powerful people who make the decisions are the ones who diddle kids.
Mm. And it's like,
Like, what if so for example, like most people around our age and like social economic group would be like if they was in charge, they would legalize weed
mm.
because it's something that most people, like, a lot of people partake in. So it's like, why would I want to be punished for that if I get caught?
And it's also, we could use the tax benefits for it to help the country out. It's literally a win-win.
Yeah,
There's
no,
no,
but like
no, but you
to
know what I mean.
compare it
There's
to
no,
why, but comparing it to why like for an example of what something we would legalize if we're in control. Like it's there's like, oh, we got to punish them in some way, but like I I'm involved in this, so I don't want to go down, so I'm not going to make it that bad, just in case.
I see, but it's still not right.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it is. Like
Yeah.
it is wrong. Like they should get life in prison because they've potentially ruined someone else's.
And that's the thing, even with people who suffer from like trauma and abuse from a child, whether it's physical or in this case sexual, it's no matter how much rehabilitation you can get or counseling or help is it's always a part of you and it affects you in so many ways that you don't probably even realize. And
Yeah,
it's probably one of the most traumatic things you can ever go through, right? And
yeah,
it's fucking horrible. Do you know? And people come out there and like, there's so many people who take their lives from it because they can't live with what they have to think and feel about that situation. They can't even begin to even wrap their head around it and how wrong it is because it's so weird. As a child, you don't really know what the world is, and that's all you're introduced to. And then you get older and you realize how wrong it is, and then you look back on your younger self and you're like, what the fuck? Like, why did I go through that? Why? What did I do? What did I do? You know, and it's
yeah.
obviously like,
Kind of blame yourself, sort of thing.
yeah, and like it's such a like, and
Because
that's why it's a piss take
it's a
that,
manipulating thing. Like it is, especially with the young kids. Like you hear lots of stories. Like my mum used to, she gets like Take a Break magazines, and before I like had a phone, they'd be on the in the toilet, and I would just read them while I'm on the toilet. And a lot of the stories about kids getting molested, the paedophiles were like, "Oh, don't tell your parents because you all get in trouble."
yeah, it's a very
You know what I mean? Like you
manipulating.
shouldn't be we shouldn't be doing this. We would get in trouble if anyone found out, sort of thing.
Yeah, like they bring you into like their, because in their mind they want to bring you down to their level.
Yeah,
But I don't know. It's a very, and like that's what I was gonna say. It's a fucking piss take that people can commit. So like James Bulger, is that his name, or Volga?
Jamie
The
Bolger.
Yeah, the little kid who got dragged off by two kids and they diddled him and then killed him.
Or was it James Bolger? Bolger.
I think it was James or Jamie. I think he might have gone by
Yeah,
both, to be fair. Anyway,
yeah,
one of them, he came out of prison like a few years later because he was still a minor. He then back into prison for another like sexual act. He came out, they gave him a whole new identity, they gave him a whole new like witness protection kind of plan, and then on his computer history they found so many fucking indecent pictures and videos, and I
of
believe
kids.
now he might still be in prison again for that.
No, I think he's come back out.
And that's the thing, like, what's the point? No offense, what is the point of keeping him alive? He's taken up resources. He clearly doesn't want
I
to
don't think
change,
anyone's gonna take offense to that.
and he's clearly never going to make a change. So what is the fucking point of keeping him alive?
So are you pro death penalty?
In certain aspects, yes. In aspects
It's a yes
where
or no question, really.
no, because it's not. It's too. You
It is
can't.
though.
You can't answer a complex question with a simplified answer.
You can,
You can't.
because well, you can't. You're right. You're saying you can't, but if you say no, but in some cases yes, then you are.
Yeah, but all right. So let me finish, and then you'll understand. So like, I believe the death penalty should be there for people who constantly reoffend and constantly don't make a change to be better. And the biggest one of all, because we've seen it throughout history, is if there is 100% undoubtedly proof that they've done it. Because there's been too many cases where we fucking killed cunts and then realised,
Yeah,
oh
I'm
fuck,
not.
we
Yeah,
got
I'm
the
not.
wrong
I'm not
guy.
saying. I'm not saying. Are you pro the current death penalty rules? I'm just saying. Do you think some people should just be killed
Hundred
for their
percent, hundred
crimes?
percent. I don't see
So the
any.
answer is yes.
I don't see any remorse in killing someone who's constantly out there to affect other people's lives. There
Yeah.
is no, and is especially in them cases where they show absolutely no sign or chance of of rehabilitation
Rehabilitation.
or remorse for their actions. And I know
Because
you
like,
feel the exact same.
well, for me, like I said before, like pedophiles, I don't think they should get a second chance. Like, especially child rapists. Like, you shouldn't get, if you're a child rapist and you're listening right now, whether you've gone to prison and you've come back out and you think your life is changed, you're still a piece of shit human being.
Hmm.
Don't matter what reason you did it, you are a piece of shit. And if you're someone that's thinking about it, and like, go find help. Find help before you ruin yours and someone else's life. And if you're someone who's done it and hasn't been caught, I hope that your life falls into complete shit and you just kill yourself. And I don't
100%.
just want anyone to kill themselves. Like, suicide's a terrible thing, but if you are a child rapist, kill yourself.
I 100%. I will say this, and I'll back it up probably till the day I die. I believe if someone goes out there and kills someone, they can rehabilitate and they can do better because you never know in that situation whether it was they were young and involved in the wrong crowd or it was an act
Killing
of
someone
madness and
is
rage.
is completely different
But
because, like, no, carry on. Sorry, I keep
but
interrupting.
with but with reoffenders, especially in the child abuse industry, in the child abuse cases, shall we say, there is literally no reason going back to my logical point of view, which I look at most things of, why should we fund resources for cunts like that when, as we spoke about, there are fucking millions of kids starving, innocent kids starving all across the world. Like, why, what, and why should we protect cunts like the Jamie Bulger killer who's constantly reoffending, who constantly is a paedophile and constantly doesn't want to do anything with his life? Like, what is the point of keeping him alive?
Yeah, like, he's getting all this new identity and stuff and witness protection that's paid for by us. Why are we paying to protect pedophiles?
Yeah, like why is it a thing that we should even think about? It's like why is ending racism still a topic? Do you know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah.
Like why?
Like, there's things that have really simple solutions, but the people in charge are too big of pussies to make the call.
Mhm.
Because if there was like, all right, we're gonna kill this reoffending paedophile, most people will be like, yeah, good. But there will be a group of people like, oh, this is against human rights and all this bullshit. And it's like, in my opinion, if you take away someone else's life, like physically or emotionally, then you have forfeited your human rights.
But it's also because I believe one aspect of where the death penalty goes wrong is that people don't face their punishment. Yes, they're punished in a way if they don't live, but they haven't actually punished. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
but
like some
like,
people,
punishing someone is is just a waste of money. Why punish someone when you can just wipe them off the face of the
it's
earth?
not necessarily a waste of money if we fucking starve the cunts.
Yeah, but like I get, like, people need to be punished for certain things, but it gets to a point where the only punishment is death.
Yeah, I get it.
Because realistically, we don't know what happens after death, so it's kind of the biggest punishment we can give someone else.
Yeah, it's the end
Because
of
it's
life
the, it's
as we
the
know it.
ultimate. Like, you just, your whole existence, like, you've done something so bad that we're just gonna take away your whole existence, and that's your fault.
And that's the thing. It's hard because there's so many cases out there where people, and it's not on average. People have committed either horrendous murderous acts or violent acts or paedophilic acts, and actually come out and have rehabilitated themselves and been like, you know what? It weren't necessarily me. I was kind of ill and I was in a really bad place at the time. Not. By the way, I'm not excusing any of it. By the way, but I'm saying I can understand where people with severe mental illness can kind of lose control in a sense. And I'm saying there probably is quite a few people who have come out of prison and actually tried to change their life and be better. And I'm not saying let's kill them ones. Obviously, they've been punished. They probably haven't been punished for long enough, but that's what we spoke about. But I'm saying for the constant reoffenders and the constant ones that are out there to ruin it for the rest of us, what is the fucking point of keeping them alive? There is none. And I know
Yeah,
people are going to back it up with like, well, you can't play God. But it's like, but we should to. We're not playing
we
God.
can.
We're playing. it's kind of like natural selection, but not in the way of like we only want the best. Like, no, we just don't want the fucking worst.
We don't want they're weak links of the human species. They are anti like progression basically. It's something that no one wants around. There are a small section of the species that like affect the rest of the species in a bad way. So why don't we just take them out? Like if there's like a fucking colony of bees, right? Then there's one that's got a fucking broken wing, so it can't fly, it can't get pollen, it can't make honey, it can't build the combs. It gets suffocated. They kill it because it's like you are useless. You are now affecting. You're not bringing any productivity to the colony, so you're dead. Why don't we just take a leaf out of the bees books? Like just because they're an animal doesn't mean they haven't got some things right, you know.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, and I know it's just it's a shame that
It's just
one that
it's
they're
a
not
thing
punished
like
enough, and two that they constantly get away with it because, as you said, the people in power, as we've seen recently, the vast majority of them are into these underage sexual acts
well
or
not
sexual
not the
abuse.
majority. You can't say the
A
majority.
lot of them, then. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably actually not a lot. It just seems a lot because one is a lot,
Well, one is more
but
than enough.
there's never enough. One is too many.
Yeah, that's
Anything
what I
more than
mean. Yeah.
zero pedophiles is too many pedophiles.
Yeah.
But it's just like I said to you the other day. Like, say we got famous, how long would it take for someone to come up to us and be like, "Oh, like I got an underage person in that room back there. Do you want to go?"
Mm.
You know what I mean?
And then, yeah, we spoke about this. Like, what would we have to do in that situation? And we both kind of said, like, obviously, we'd try and help our best, do our best to help that girl or that boy out of that situation and try and help him. But it's like, you never know if you're dealing with these really powerful, and you never know if it's kind of like this shadow organization that's unkind of heard of,
There's
but really
initiation,
big.
sort of.
Yeah. And that actually controls all the power, and you're not sure whether if you're trying to help this person, you're like saying to them how wrong it is if they're gonna fucking kill you. You know what I mean?
I'll
It's
take
if
you. Got to take that risk though.
obviously,
I
yeah.
would, I would, I would gaslight the whole thing. Like I'd fucking,
I'd
I
rather
don't know if
die and
gaslight's the right
not be a
word, but
nonce and live and fuck a child. Like, do you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's a simple
Like you'd
choice.
have to, you just would grass them up. But like, this is how powerful they are. The people that do grass them up, they get deleted. No one ever hears from them. Like they don't get killed, but like their careers end. You know what I mean?
Mm,
But like, if I was famous and I had a big platform on the internet and Instagram, whatever, Twitter, and something like this happened, 100% I would post it straight away. I don't care what if I had any agents or any friends in an industry. If there's like, oh, you got to take that down, I'll be like, no, because this is the truth and this happened.
yeah, and everyone
Sue
has a
me,
right to
kill
know
me,
the
whatever.
truth.
Now the question and the doubt is in your mind about that certain person.
Well, it's like with the Jeffrey Epstein "Filthy Rich" documentary. Like I think we spoke about it very vaguely about how they kind of bring up Trump in it as one of his associates, and obviously they never bring it up again. It's kind of funny how you can tell Netflix have been like to him, like, yeah, you can't mention that one, you can't mention that one, because he's unfortunately probably one of the most powerful guys in the whole world at the moment. So
Yeah.
it's like you can't mention him, but it's like there's so much evidence out there to support that, and it's the same with Prince Andrew. There's so much fucking evidence out there that he is like a repeated sex offender to children and underage girls and young girls. And do you know what his punishment was? You're no longer a prince. That was it.
Is he no longer a prince?
Yeah, he got kicked out of the royal family. Remember, it was like a big thing
Did
earlier
he?
this year.
Did he get kicked out of the royal family?
Yes,
Or
for
did they
being
just take away some of his like duties?
no,
I think he's still a prince.
he got kicked out of the royal family. It was a big
I
thing the
don't.
earliest this year.
No, I don't think he's actually. I'm pretty sure he's still in the royal family. I'm pretty sure he's still a king, a
Google it.
prince.
Obviously, he's still blood related to the family, but he got kicked out of the royal family. Same And then like a
Uh,
couple of weeks after, Harry and Meghan voluntarily left the royal family
voluntarily, yeah, sure. Just
because he found out they killed his mum. So that's what I mean. It's just it's so
no,
mad how people.
everywhere, everywhere still calls him Prince Andrew.
Well, that's what he's just going to be known as, ain't he?
No, but like Wikipedia is Prince Andrew,
But all right, so
Duke
that's
of York.
even worse. Then, so he didn't even have a punishment. He
Is
just
a
got an.
member of the British royal family.
So he
As a
just got
result
an
of
easier
accusations
life.
of sexual abuse and his connection to the sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, he resigned from all public roles. That's all that he done. He resigned.
So
He
there's
just
no
resigned from
punishment
public
for him. That's
roles.
what I don't get.
No, there's
Like,
not, because he's a prince.
it's
And this
just
is why, if you support the royal family, this is what you're supporting.
yeah.
You're supporting a monarchy that didn't punish a paedophile. That's what you're supporting if you support the royal family. I'm so glad that Harry and Meghan left.
100%.
Because it's like I'm glad Harry and Meghan left. Like they're just gonna be normal people living a normal life. Well, not as normal as it can be when you're that famous, but
And like
they've
obviously,
obviously seen how much bullshit goes on, and they've like fuck this shit, I'm out.
and the media, like obviously we don't know the proper truth, but the media blasphemizes. Oh, that didn't come out right, but you know what I'm trying to say. The media target is Meghan Markle, right? But I want to say this. Um, the one reason they target her a lot is because she's not of that kind of class. Say what you want about her, she has had to work to where she got in her acting career. She worked hard for that, right? There's no doubt
Yeah.
about it. No one becomes an actor of that success unless you're fucking a paedophile. Um, but she worked hard for that. Harry obviously fell in love with her to marry her. There's no doubt about that. And because
Yeah.
she's mixed race and she don't fit this general consensus of what it is to be a British royal, the media obviously just targets her because it's like, well, you're not white. You're not white. You're not
Yeah.
this. You're not that. You're not. No, just fucking love is love if you're not a paedophile. But
Yeah, I
love
was gonna
is
say, don't
love.
say that. That's a
and
big paedophile
yeah,
like
like
chant, whatever slogan.
if 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 Harry fell in love with a 65-year-old uh, Caribbean woman, what's the problem with that? Love is love. If that's who he wants to spend his life with, fucking let him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a
Yeah.
weird. We're very still stuck in this very racist mindset and this very old, powerful kind of quotation marks, white male kind of
Patriarchy.
hierarchy of just pure shit of where the paedophiles and the racists run the world, where most commonly the hard-working, honest, loyal working man is just treated like shit.
Yeah. But it's just like it's just people are ignorant to the facts, and that's why there won't be progress. It's because they're not shown the facts, or they don't even look for the facts. They see something and just take it as gospel.
Mm.
So when they see something about race, or don't hear something about race, they're like, oh well, it can't be that bad. Or if they're like, just see someone say, oh, he's not actually a paedophile, it's like, oh well, he's not a paedophile then. But I feel like the public's easily swayed.
There should be a thing in place where people like Donald Trump, people like Prince Andrew, because of their power, they shouldn't avoid their day in court. There should at least be a court case where, because there have been loads of girls who have said that with both Prince Andrew and Donald Trump that they have sexually abused, molested, tortured them, whatever. And because of their power, they don't even face that day in court to see the evidence. And it's like no one, like there's that old saying, no one is above the law, but it's the bullshit saying ever because fucking clearly most people are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Like you got
mean?
money. Money's power. Money's
Money's
the law.
yeah, but money's fuck all. It's nothing really.
Important.
Unfortunately,
In the world
so.
we live in, it's important. And the society that's been built is money and wealth has always been important for humans. Like think back to the old kings, like Romans, Greeks, even before them. The kings they went to other lands and stole all their golds and stuff like that. And it's like the king had all the wealth, and that's what made him powerful. Because people see this and be like, "Oh, I want that. I'll do something if you pay me for it. I'll go kill this. Go to invade this other country if you give me money for it."
I'll give you my daughter if you give me some of your gold. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's fucked up. But yeah, that's why you shouldn't have a shit at Reading. Mitchell, give him the links. I'm sorry, a bit of blu-tac left on the wall that you can never get off. Give him the links.
um, you say give them the links. It's just the Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit are in the description.
Subscribe if
By
you want to.
episode by episode 50, we'll be on Spotify, maybe Apple Music, and Google Podcasts. I think it's called.
And Pornhub.
No, not Pornhub.
Well, if we get 10 followers on our Instagram, on our Twitter,
Twitter.
I'll still send you all my dick pic.
You only have 3 days.
You know what? I'll
Oh,
be
you're
kind
missing
and
out.
give you a week extension, so you got 10 days.
It's just, why do you want to show off your penis?
I don't know, I just want 10 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, but why do you think saying showing your penis would make anyway?
I
That's
mean,
the end.
I'd follow someone's Twitter if they said they was going to send me a dick pic, so.
All right, right. Let's just stop here. Don't share Reddin. Don't be a paedophile. Peace out.